Hey, it's Chad Wakefield, Revival Development Services. Welcome back to Revival on the Road. We're in Albuquerque, New Mexico, downtown. A little past 6 o'clock in the morning. We're here on a Tuesday. I'm off camera, obviously. Just kind of want to give you guys a tour of this. This is what's called the Albuquerque High loft. So this is the old Albuquerque High School that well over 20 years ago now was reclaimed and repurposed for residential use. I think on the other side I just saw a little bit of commercial, not much. You know, beautiful building though that was reclaimed. A lot of hard work went into this. We're hearing the story at a conference, probably the tail end of my academic time in at New Mexico State. But like a lot of buildings of its vintage, had asbestos all over everything. You know, roof tiles, around pipes. So lots of remediation. You know, just a lot of wear and tear, a lot of just kind of over time, things kind of just fell apart and got abused, and probably some some vagrancy at some period. Lead paint, all kinds of stuff. So it was a pretty big project here. I mean, I think you'd put this on par in a lot of communities with a major project, frankly. Some of the spin-off, you can see across the street here, some great like triple decker and 2-story townhomes. Vintage of these, I don't know, the last 10-15 years maybe. It's like anything, it takes a little bit of time for the area to catch up after you take on something transformative. And I think that's the key, is that when you start talking about transformative, it doesn't always have to be these major, massive undertakings. Redoing the Brooklyn Yards or the Navy Yards in DC or things like that. It can be just, this is a massive undertaking, a big project, and it really did put an anchor to start to turn around downtown Albuquerque. This old schoolhouse, this old high school, takes up, a couple city blocks here. Well, maybe not a couple. Maybe I'm over exaggerating. But this is a transformative project for this area. So point being, transformation, not always, that scale of what we were just talking about as far as, the big mega projects in New York and DC that have gotten a lot of headlines and publicity and press in the last, couple decades. Walk around. This is part of the same development. But it's pretty cool because they mixed in some brick here. This brick units here with the stucco units. Mix it up a little bit. And then looking across the street over here, you've got some houses probably been here for a pretty long time. These things are new. Or newer, I should say. And then this great looking little brick house over here, somebody reclaimed that, but that was a family's home, hell, going back 75 years, maybe even longer than that. Not quite sure about this one. There's multiple units, and this thing right across the street where this has been cut up into multiple units. But so you have these things mixed in. These are obviously been renovated, rehabbed, however you want to call it. But the reclamation of that high school helped inspire somebody coming in, taking this great little house, making it their own. Somebody else taking this building here that we're walking along the side of, making it something awesome. Kind of funny walking around early in the morning. We're still waking up. Great building, man. Look at that. I mean, that's so cool, man. So cool. Walk up the sidewalk here. I think we're on the... No, not Arno. Arno, that's a fascinating story because not too far from here, we were working with the Albuquerque Housing Authority. They are doing some major renovation here in the area, and one of their properties is over on Arno. Yeah, these are really cool. And these were very commercial units at one point, and pretty sure these are probably residential units now. Alley's preserved. You know, they didn't come in and close off the alley, preserve the alley. Just more examples of other houses that have been spruced up, brought back to life. This is kind of cool. I'm not sure what's going on in the trailer here. Not looking to bust anybody out for any kind of code enforcement violation or anything like that, but you know, it might be somebody homesteading in there. That's a really cool property right there. I'm not sure what's going on there. That's pretty interesting though. That's pretty wild. Can get a better. I bet somebody Airbnb'd that. Kind of a cool concept. You can see a smart lock on the door. That's why I think it's probably Airbnb. Look at this awesome old building. Stout, huge stones. Again, I'm not sure if this is residential. What's going on here? Actually, may not be anything going on. Pretty awesome, but oh yeah. Okay, coming soon. Somebody's to do a coffee shop there, it looks like. Killer old building. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, oh yeah. These guys, I'm sure I should have lived there too. Still got the coffee business getting ready to jump off. Some more good examples. So this, you see the other side of the Albuquerque High, and we're going to walk around to the other side of the building. This piece right here, this may have been added to it. I don't know. My guess is that was not part of the original school, but well, maybe it is. That kind of cap up there looks similar to that cap up there. But this Albuquerque High project really was kind of a marquee thing down here. And I still think Albuquerque's still a really awesome city. It had gotten a lot of credit for a really fast downtown turnaround, late 90s, early 2000s. And I think the basis for that, quote, turnaround, let's go dart across the street here while we can. The basis for that was, let's see, this is still ongoing. Restoration, 2010. 1927 building, restored. So, you know, long-term project that had units to market, though, definitely in the early 2000s. Kind of go back to what I said. I think the reason why it had a lot of publicity for a quote-unquote quick turnaround was, you know, it was in pretty rough shape, and certainly not got some cool apartments, man. It's gonna be pretty awesome. We went from pretty distressed area to people moving back in, small businesses coming back in. Early on, some beer culture. I think we think about craft beer as like this thing that happened in the last 5 years, but microbrewing, craft brewing, whatever you want to call it. I mean, that's been really kicking for a pretty long time, but it's been the last 5-10 years where there's been this massive just proliferation. It's actually the hotel I'm staying at, so a newer hotel, great hotel actually, great job. A lot of this stuff sparked off by this transformation here. And I could be wrong on that. I'm not native to Albuquerque. I'm a tourist like anybody else that's staying in that hotel. I don't know the total history, but I know a little bit. And I do know this is part of it, but I just think it's great, man. I mean, look at this. Look at this old commercial building here, old strip. Looks like that might have been an old gas station. Yeah, for sure. Old gas station right there, that Ranch Cafe. All productive use though, and a very livable city. It's not Portland, it's not Seattle, it's not Denver, but it had a downtown that was really turning around and really taking off within a similar time frame as those cities, and got some greatness unto itself. So if you haven't been to Albuquerque, this has been a pretty long revival on the road. So it's an homage to a city I dig, but come check it out, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching the video. Bye.